morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening. I'm Ariel.
I'm Shia, and the name of the game is
Ha ha ha.
Being Here.
Oh my goodness. All right. Are you having fun? If you're not having fun, chances are you're working too hard.
And you've gotten lost disagreeing with something in the universe that you have no control over anyway.
You probably stopped listening.
Well, that's true.
You know, you say, I don't want to hear that. That happens every once in a while when I'm listening to the news. I'm like, this is not fun.
Too many people died today.
Yeah. Well, that's actually true. But
and of course it's true. I only speak the truth.
You're very funny.
Ha ha. Ha.
Well, today,
yes,
let's practice listening to each other. I mean, really hearing what's being said. What happens when you listen
is you get pulled into the current moment of your life.
And we finish each other's sentences.
When we do.
Yeah, we do. But also, as you're listening, all of those things that you're worried about, future-oriented.
They disappear. Mm-hmm. Because when you get involved in or engaged in listening, that shuts the universe out. In a way, no two things can occupy you at the same time. So if you're occupied with listening, then you're not occupied with worrying about what you can't do anything about. I'm beginning to sound a little bit like Anthony Fauci.
You can sound like worse people.
Yes.
So today we're not going anywhere. I know that when I lose my sense of humor, I'm trying to get somewhere. I'm trying to get things done or get something over with.
Something important. What if nothing is that important to get upset over? What if you can live your life without being in a rather continual state of upset? Even those highs can be upsetting because there's always the fear that it's going to go away.
I've recently been conversing with a friend of mine whose parents are on the decline and she's not able to go visit them right now. And of course, it's so easy when something of that nature happens to go to bed, close your eyes and worry about it, or through the day, have your mind tick to that situation that you wish could be different. Wishing it could be different does not support you in making any choices that allow you creative solutions to things in your life. It doesn't support your well-being or the people you're concerned about.
You're not even allowed to have any fun because you'd be a terrible person if you had fun and your parents were aging, or infirmed.
One of the things that I've really been aware of lately is how connected I am to people. I wrote an email yesterday or the day before, a rather extensive email to a friend of mine and Shai's that we haven't written an email to probably in 6 months. And they wrote back immediately, "Oh, I was just thinking about you when your email came in." If you allow yourself to have fun, all those people who you're connected with, who think about you, connect into a quality of liveliness that they wouldn't connect into if you were worrying and feeling glum.
And complaining that life isn't going the way you would prefer. See, the thing is this, life does not agree with your preferences. It shows up the way it does. So you have a choice in the matter. You could either give up your point of view, give up being right, which I know creates a scream in you, or you can be miserable. Right or miserable. When you're right, you're miserable. For example, I won't give that example.
Oh, yeah?
That miserable person down in Florida.
Oh, yeah, that's not a good example. But I do notice, here comes our kitty, that I don't like things in our home a certain way. And our cat has a different idea.
She doesn't care about our preference to keep things neat.
So it's an interesting thing to manage the part of
The
me,
potential upset in seeing the cat scratching the couch with her claws.
yeah. So I've been discovering that when I'm not irritable, things aren't irritating. And when I'm upset, anything can be irritating. It's kind of a fun game to play. You know, let's talk for a moment. We haven't talked about this for a while, and I know we have a guest waiting, but
what are we talking about?
I want to talk about the difference between change and transformation.
Ah, okay.
Because change goes through your mind and your mental process and your judgment system.
And change takes place over time. So, it takes you a long time to learn things or understand things, whereas transformation happens in an instant. It's a shifting in realities that takes place outside of time. And change is full of judgments, right, wrong, good, and bad. Transformation is just about the isness of the situation, the way it is, not the way you prefer, not whether it's good, not whether it's bad. It's
not
just
whether
that
it's
way.
Fair or unfair, not whether you like or don't like. Transformation is about honestly seeing what is.
Honesty. Transformation is based in honesty, where you see what is rather than judge what you see.
And one last thing before we call in our guest. I know that today's title is called Ha Ha Ha. That life is either, how do we put it? You can laugh or cry, your choice. Life can be full of, quote, jokes. But there's nothing wrong with you if you have a wave of sadness. That we are not, by the title of the show, suggesting that laughing is better than crying.
Is preferential to sadness.
That's change, that's your mind. In truth, being how you are
is perfect.
It is perfect.
Exactly as you are. Because, in fact, you cannot be different than you are in the current moment of your life. You can only be exactly as you are, including your life circumstances, including everything you've done up until this moment. You could have only done it the way you did. Did it the way you did?
You could have only done things the way you have done them.
Okay.
Okay,
good.
that works. Let's call our guest in,
okay.
Shall we? All right, we have Ursula joining us. Where are you today, Ursula?
Hey.
Hey.
I'm in St. Gallen, Switzerland, and I'm listening with my heart to what you just said. I'm so amazed to hear it all. And it's not like I've heard it the first time, but I heard it for the first time.
Well, that's great. You see, when you truly listen, everything you hear is for the first time. It's all new when you're listening. When you're thinking about how it applies to your life, well, then you're no longer here.
Yes. Yeah.
That throws you out of sync with your universe.
Yes. I had a question, or rather a share for today, but you answered it in the first sentence, but I'll share it anyway.
Please, otherwise it's only in your head and nobody else knows.
It's a private party otherwise, yes.
That's right. Share the party, please.
Well, I am a musician. I play the piano and sing and teach both of them. And I had the honor to accompany a funeral a few days ago on the organ in a church. And I didn't know who had died, but I was asked by the priest who I had done a Christmas for. And she said, "Oh, I saw you're on the list now of the organists in our community. Can I ask you? Because I really liked how you played at Christmas." And I said, "Yes, I'd love to do it." And I went there, and it was a lovely little church. And tried my things out, and there were a few people there, everybody with masks. and there were only allowed 50 people in there. And the woman that had died, they had put up a photo on the altar and a candle, like an Easter candle beside it that they lit, and a few little candles that they had lit, that the people got to light. And she looked like she had had a really fulfilled life. She moved me. The picture moved me, and it brought me to a special choice of pieces that I would perform on the organ. And afterwards, the woman that probably was her daughter, she waved from the altar. They were sort of collecting things and the photo, and they saw me from afar. I was playing in front of the church with my back to the audience, and she said, "Thank you so much. It was so uplifting, just like my mom was." And I just was so moved by it, because that's what went through my head while I was picking the pieces. I thought, well, I need to find something that, celebrates the life of that woman, but also sort of collects what you just said, with the sadness. It's as good as happiness. It's as good as living your everyday life or a special celebration, like we just had Christmas, New Year. And it just, I don't know why it came to my mind. I think it came to my mind that sharing when I saw the title, Ha Ha Ha, because I like humor, and I like to laugh off some things as well. When I feel moved, and I just make a little joke, so don't have to feel it much longer. And with the masks, it's not possible that well anymore, because you can't see that part. So you can the whole smiling part, and so it's all looks now. And when you said in the beginning of today about listening, I thought, oh, listening. Yes, I heard it, and I really wanted to give her a smile, and I thought, she's not going to see the smile with my mask. And I was in a titter-tatter, how can I tell her thank you so much? And I just stood there and relaxed, because I couldn't show her my smile, but I just could hear what she was saying. And and from then on, it was just lovely. And I got a lovely little chat with her and probably her brother or husband, I don't know, just saying thank you very much. And it's not much, but it's a lot.
It's very touching to see. We're doing this via Zoom, and
it's touching to see how moved you were.
And we can see you, even though we're doing this as a podcast audio.
Right. It's touching to see how moved you were by this woman's life, having never met her, but in a blink of an eye, you knew her.
And, one of the things that's possible, Ursula, is for you to own that. It's not that she was moving, it's that you allowed yourself to be moved by this person's life, greatness, humanity, the situation. There are plenty of people around who are barricaded, who don't allow themselves to feel. And this really is a special time. There is so much loss, but along with that is also the possibility for us to access our greatest humanity. It just depends on whether or not you want to let yourself feel. And you really can't have those ha 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 moments that are genuine if you don't allow yourself to deeply feel all the other emotions as well.
Most people find the ha 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 moments through alcohol or drugs. But it's very possible that you can have that direct experience of being alive without any assists from chemicals.
At a funeral.
At a funeral, at a wedding, wherever you are. But you have to be there for that moment. And that moment becomes your life.
Not when you get done with the funeral, not when someone gets well, not when, but now. Life is so alive right now if you let it be.
Yeah. Thank you.
I have to say one other fun thing. You were talking about how you were speaking to the priest.
Oh yeah,
and she said, I was like, what? You know, my internal programming filled in like a ghost image of priest until you said, and she said, I found that really fun. I love when I gender bust myself. It's so delightful. I didn't know priests could be women. That's quite lovely.
No, women could be priests.
Yes, that they could, well, either way works.
Yeah, because there was a very long time that women were excluded from the priesthood.
Yeah. Awesome. And then when you said a lovely little church, and then they were limited to 50 people, suddenly I'm like, well, that church can't be as little as my version of little. So it was really fun to listen to you and see how I had these expectations, and then with the next sentence or two, I was informed differently. That was really fun. So
yeah, listening is so amazing.
It really is. Hey, thanks for
joining us
today and being a part of the conversation and adding to the lives of all the listeners of being here.
Very welcome. It was such a pleasure.
Okay, here we go. It's time for our listener feedback spotlight, where we hear from one of our listeners about how transformation has impacted her life or his life.
If you want to learn more about our seminars, any of the upcoming virtual courses, visit transformationmadeeasy.com.
That is Transformation Made Easy, easy.com.
I love it.
Thank you.
This is Cheryl in Hong Kong. I really appreciate Erin and Shai have really provided a space where we can still stay connected, stay grounded, and just know that everything's going to be okay.
Do you want to have well-being with consistency? Connect with people all over the world from the comfort of your own home at Erin and Shai's lively interactive Living Made Easy virtual seminars. Join any of their 2-hour online events or take a deep dive into the magic of being you at a virtual weekend seminar. Come on, let's connect. Find out more and register at transformationmadeeasy.com.
We have upcoming seminars. We have this Saturday and Monday, we have some Living Made Easy virtual seminars. We have a special event, Magical Relationships, coming on Monday the 8th and Tuesday the 9th.
Of February.
That's right. If you want to know more about those, you just go to transformationmadeeasy.com and look at the Living Made Easy virtual seminars. We also have a weekend event coming up called Being Moved by Life. And wow.
Well, look, you're living, and you can either get through each day and go to bed and have to wake up the next day to get through another day, or you can be moved by every moment of your life. It can be an exciting adventure being alive rather than some tedium that you have to get through.
Ursula was such a lovely possibility for how we can be touched, even by strangers.
Even by a picture of a stranger.
Yeah, and step into the moment and feel the fullness of life. If you'd like to join us for that, please register. You can find out more and register at transformationmadeeasy.com. Shall we take our...
Oh, let's.
Let's take our next lovely guest.
Dorina.
Miss Dorina, where are you calling in from today? Or zooming in, we should probably say.
Mm-hmm.
Hi.
Hey, hello, Erin and Shaya.
Hi.
Hi, I'm calling in from Hamburg, Germany.
So lovely to see you. Welcome to being here.
Thank you so much. You know, it's an honor to be with you. Also, except for these days. I mean, we are in the middle of changing the year. And this year, 2020, was really a big challenge. And I can feel it in me. It's just bubbling around. It's like it was, I don't know. I'm coming from this retrospect to see, oh, okay, what I had over the year. And it was so much movements inside, so many differences. And also for this upcoming course, just being moved by life is, I had so much of it this year. And it's all in me. It's like I feel this being sad.
Dorina, I have to stop you because what you're saying is really good, but you're saying it with a bit of complaint wrapped around what you're saying. So it's not a gift. It's I had to get through this year.
And so much happened.
But it's all got a blush of negativity to it, as though it should have been different.
Wonderful. Great, thank you. That gives me a, absolutely.
Why rob yourself of the gift that life has been?
Well, even that you have life. You have recently recovered from the coronavirus. And I imagine you still have some lingering symptoms. But that you can breathe, that's a miracle.
Yeah. Also the smelling, it's very intense. I can smell that someone else is smoking outside. I mean, everything is closed here, but I can smell it. It's amazing how intense that is.
But the intensity still has a complaint attached to it.
Right. It's like, this isn't it. It would be better if.
There are plenty of people who lost their sense of smell. And then when it came back, if it did, it came back unwired differently, so that roses smell like rancid meat, and like things have come back weird. It's amazing that you can smell, and you can smell at a distance even.
Yeah, it is absolutely. It's just a wonder. I didn't have that before, and I think it's shifting in so many ways. It's just touching me.
Well, you might have fun with it. You might discover a new Dorina in each moment, rather than try to stick to the story of who Dorina is.
And
or was.
Also comparing your life now to what it was before. And that's part of where people get stuck. They're not just living, they're comparing, oh, I can't travel now. Oh, I used to be able to meet with my friends. Rather than investing in
I used to be able to date.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's just really a lot. And yeah, I can see the just the adventure, what I had, or what I have, I still have. I think in my story, I want to hold on to things that I can be sure that's just, yeah, I have everything under control, but it's not. And I see that's, yeah, with every moment, it's just different. It can be so fast that things are shifting, and I want to be there for it. But I can still just see from the past, it's just this kind of, oh, I want to have it all together. It's like, yeah.
Well, it's interesting that you talk about that, because in the effort to prove to yourself that you have everything under control, the tighter your life gets. And you have proof. You personally have proof that your life is not in control. I mean, absolutely. Take a look. If you could control things, you wouldn't have ordered up a side dish of COVID for yourself.
That's true. Yeah. And I'm happy that it went just after 10 days better and better, and my conditions are good. I mean, I feel kind of, I don't know, exhausting, but it's good. I feel good. And
great.
So
I really think we should talk about the 3 principles of instantaneous transformation with you, Dorina, because somehow, I'm not sure why, but I know it's important.
Well, anything you resist sticks around. So the degree that you resist the way life has gone for this past year, you're stuck in the past.
So here we are. This airs in 2021, toward the end of the month, and you're dragging what you didn't approve of, like, or want from 2020 into this year. It's like you are a reverse Santa Claus, and you've stuck all of the things you don't like in your bag, and you're dragging your bag along with you. It's got to be pretty heavy. What you resist persists, grows stronger, and you drag it with you through life. And the second principle, you can only be exactly as you are.
Because the moment shows up the way it does, and your circumstances in this moment could only be what they are.
Your level of health, your level of complaint,
your level of wealth.
You can only be exactly as you are. Third principle.
Anything you see without judging is over. It completes itself in an instant. It's instantaneous.
So I wouldn't be surprised if you have some judgments about complaint. So if you judge your complaining nature, you won't want to see it. And anything you pretend isn't there, avoid, don't like, don't want, you carry with you. Anything you see and go, oh, look, I'm judging myself.
Then it's over.
Like, for instance, if as you were listening to our conversation with Ursula, and Ursula was talking about the priest asking her to play the organ, and she said, I like the way you play. I noticed I had a preconception about priests. If I had noticed that about myself and then gone, there I go again. If I'd been hard on myself for what I saw, I would have stuck in place the thing I say I don't like. Noticing it and having a sense of humor about how you are the way you are, and not personalizing your internal culture, makes things so much easier, Dorina. Yeah. Did you have something you wanted to say?
Well, I stopped because I was listening to you.
Okay, cool.
Because it had something to say, but when I listened to you, it went away.
That's cool.
That's what happens when you listen. Your thoughts disappear and you fall into the moment.
And I feel much more relaxed.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you do.
I do. Yeah.
Well, so easy to try so hard.
You try too hard, right?
particularly at the beginning of the year, actually there's a pressure, a societal pressure, an advertising pressure for people to lose weight, exercise more, make themselves into being a better person. And if it's your natural bent anyway to put pressure on yourself, it's so much easier to succumb to those outside pressures as well.
Well, look, Dorina, darling, you need to be kind to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You're still punishing yourself for the history of your country.
Mm.
You need to be, John Lennon, there's a song he sang and wrote about imagine there's no country. So you can be free from the past. You're still carrying it as though you're a bad person.
Wow. Yeah, it's in me.
That's right. It's in you. And
It's in me.
And if you see it, it's over. And if you see it and don't want it, you keep it.
I understand. Yeah.
Well, I just saw it, so I figured I'd tell you so you can be kind to yourself and allow whatever was to have happened to be, and not try to change what you can't change. So then you're free of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you try to change what you can't change because it's gone by, you're forever stuck in it.
Mm-hmm.
All of your heritage is the springboard for your greatness, if you allow it. The prejudices, the atrocities, the unkindnesses, the celebrations, everything is a springboard into this moment. In this moment, this is where your brilliance lies, your greatness lies, your humanity.
Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. And thanks for zooming in today and being here.
Such a pleasure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
And now for all our listeners, if you have enjoyed the podcast, you can always leave a review on your favorite podcast app. It helps other people find Being Here. If you feel to do it, thanks in advance. If you'd like to be on the show, you can go to transformationmadeeasy.com and go to the Being Here page, and there's a form there. You're welcome to send us a message, and one of our producers will get back to you. Next week's episode.
Yes.
Flirty, flirty, flirting.
Aha.
We'll have fun. We're going to be back next week. Yeah, I like it too. So come on back.
And don't miss
being